started my test career when I was 31, and that was in South Africa. My 31st birthday actually was in South Africa. And from there on, I tried to stay humble, do what it takes to really stay in the team for as long as possible, because it's important that once you get an opportunity, you use it to the best of your ability. Work hard, try to improve on your skills. Because what I've learned playing international cricket is that after you play 1 year or so, the next year everybody get to know you, so you have to come with a different plan. You can't bat the same way. You have to try different things because everybody know the way you batted, and they will try different things to get you out or stuff like that. If you're a bowler, they will try to counteract, and they believe that you try to bowl most of the time. So it's a learning stage for international players. It's not easy because a lot of people think it's a walk in the park, but it's not really. You have to really work on your game physically, mentally, and stuff like that to improve on your skills every time you go out and play. I truly enjoy my time playing for West Indies, especially playing against India. Score 100 against India here in Antigua at the recreation ground. So that is a proud moment for me. The Indian team I've played against: Tendulkar, Dravid, Laxman, Sehwag. Those are some really great players, and I'm happy that I've got an opportunity to really play and rub shoulders with these guys. And it's an experience that will go a long way, and an everlasting experience that some people never get a chance to meet these guys, and you've got an opportunity to play with these guys, speak to them. It's a blessing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you made a point about you making your debut at the age of 31. How important was your foundational cricketing career here in Antigua and in the local community before you actually made your debut?
Yeah, it's important that you have a base foundation. Really, you grow up around people who love the game and want to see you excel. My career started a bit late. Most people want to start to play the national cricket maybe at age 18, 19, even 21 or something like that. But I started actually playing Test cricket when I was 31. But the thing about it is that I had a lot of experience playing first class cricket, so it works well for me. And when I got that opportunity, I just do what I know that I normally do at first class cricket and improve on my skills every time you get an opportunity to play. And it works well for me because of the experience playing against a lot of international players in the region, playing with and against Cote d'Ivoire. She played against Cote d'Ivoire. She later played with Ambrose from the same village that I'm from, Sweets. So I played a lot with them growing up. And you have a lot of fast bowlers, a lot of spinners that I've learned, played with, and the experience as well.
Right, and I remember during the '99 World Cup in South Africa, you carried your bat through the innings, right? So you scored a 40 odd.
That was in England.
It was in England.
Yeah,
that's right. '99 was in England,
yeah.
And that record stood for a long time, right?
Yeah. Well, it's important that, as I said, when you get an opportunity, you use it to the best of your ability, and I tried to do that. If it was falling around me, it was important that I stayed and tried to, get a decent score that at least we can try and defend. But it didn't work that way. But at least I tried my best, and it happened that I batted for the innings.
And you played some great innings in Australia in the 2000-2001 tour, right? That was a difficult tour, but I feel like Brian Lara and you, really stood out in terms of some of your knocks during down under.
Yeah, it was a great tour actually. We didn't really get the results that we were looking for. We played some really good cricket. I remember one game I was playing in Perth. We were about 25 for 5, and I went into bat, and everyone thought that the game was over. I stood there and bat for a long period, and I actually ended up on 96 not out. So that was actually one of my better innings in terms of pressure situation where we've lost a lot of early wickets, and McGrath and all the other fast bowlers, Gillespie, all the other guys are coming with Shane Warne. It was a really good experience for me.
And right after the series down under, I think a year or two later, you captained the West Indies cricket team.
Yes, I captained the team in Bangladesh in 2002. It was a very good series. I think I might be the only captain who have never lost a series. As a captain,
right.
Played 2 test matches and 3 one-day international, won all these games. So it was a good experience for me being captain for the West Indies team. And I held my head high and try my best, and we came out successful in that tournament.
Did you enjoy batting down the order, or did you enjoy opening the innings on those occasions where you did?
I think I enjoy opening better because then the restriction of the field earlier, you can only have 2 fielders outside the circle, give an opportunity to really play a lot of shots early, and get a lot of chances, to score runs, because even though you hit the ball in the air, a lot of times over the infield there's not a lot of fielder there, but after the 15 overs, you can spread the field, it becomes a little bit more difficult. So I think I prefer open batting, and this way I got most of my success as well.
Right. I want to talk a little bit about the cricketing culture here in Antigua. I've been very impressed with how close knit everyone is, and I feel like for an island of this size, you produced a record number of outstanding cricketers.
Yeah, I think it's DNA, blood. We love cricket here in the Caribbean, especially in Antigua. Growing up, I played a lot of softball cricket, and Antigua is small. It's only 108 square miles, so we all play together. We line together, we eat together, we drink together. So we're good friends, and that's the bond that you need if you want to, have a good team. Just people knowing players, knowing themselves, and a guy weakness, your weakness. He knows your strength, you know his strength. And this is where success really comes, because if someone is not doing well, you can say, listen, I know that what you're doing is wrong. You could improve on your skills. And I think that's why we have so many great players coming out of Antigua, because we're small but we look after each other.
And we're probably 10-15 minutes away from the Antigua Recreation Ground, where you stood at the other end when Brian Lara scored his 400, right?
Yeah, just about 5 minutes. The recreation ground is just right there. Just about 5 minutes walk from the recreation ground. Yeah, it was a great experience. And being there, just supporting Brian. He's a very good player. He's a very great player, and just being there, supporting him, so that he could get a record, was a great achievement for me and for himself as well. He just wanted me to stay there, and that he could bat. Pitch was a very good shot to bat, and he enjoyed batting at Antigua Recreation Ground. We all do, because it's normally a flat track, good for batting, not so good for bowlers. So it was a very good experience for us.
Do people in Antigua miss the old recreation ground? Now you have the carnival happening, a lot of football, soccer games, etc.
I know I miss it for real, because it's a home of cricket in Antigua. So many records been there, so many great things happened there. Chickies Hi-Fi, if you ever heard about Chickies Hi-Fi, these guys, he got, I think, man of the match for one game just for playing the game winner. He got man of the match. We have Wavy, all these guys who used to be there. It was a carnival atmosphere at the recreation ground. And it's sad that no cricket is playing there now. Hopefully, maybe one day cricket will return to the recreation ground.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your role with the cricket board and what you do now for the Leeward Islands?
Well, I'm actually in charge of cricket in Antigua in terms of the school level cricket. So that's where I'm based actually. They're trying to improve on the youngsters, because I think they're the future, and my time now basically helping the young players to develop. And that's all my interest is right now, is to help young players develop, and now I'm in charge of cricket in Antigua. That's what I'm trying to do. We went to England this year. Hopefully we go back next year, development tour. So most of my interest is like now.
That's great. And you played like 68 odd test matches, about near 141 day games, and now you have all the T20 cricket taking over. I saw one of my Allmart agents yesterday was wearing a T10 T-shirt. So what were your thoughts on the advent of shorter forms of white ball cricket?
I think it's good for the spectators, for sure. Everybody loves it. It's shorter. But for me, test cricket is the ultimate. Test your character, test your strength, they test everything. But T20 is a fast-paced game. I wish I had an opportunity to play T20, because I never really love it, because then you get to explore a bit more, express yourself a little bit more. And I guess that's what the youngsters are doing now.
We've all been a little disappointed about West Indies not qualifying for the ODI World Cup in India, and been missing out on the T20 World Cup last year. What are your thoughts on some of the administrative challenges being faced by the different cricket boards, and do you think we are a long way away from overcoming that?
I think it's sad that these tournaments we're not part of. All of us have played for a number of years. And I always want to see West Indies cricket climb to the heights that it used to be before. But as it stands now, it's kind of difficult. But I honestly think that over a period of time, it will get back to where it used to be. I think with the right planning, the right plans in place for these youngsters, because we got to look at the future now. For these youngsters, I think in the next maybe 10, 15 years, we should be back at the top of Western's world cricket again, and that is what we are looking for. And hopefully, that will happen sooner than we expected.
There is a lot of promise running on Rakeem Cornwall from Antigua, and your thoughts on him being a flag bearer for Antiguan cricket?
Yeah, he has done well in the past for Antigua, Leeward Islands, also for West Indies. He's a very good talent. He came to the school system as well. We did some work with him. It's just for him now to keep working hard and improve on his skills. I think he could reach far.
Yep. And you've traveled all over the world, Ridley. I mean, who are some of the toughest bowlers that you faced? And I remember, Sakline getting you to a Dusra, right, a long time ago. And you spoke about Jason Gillespie, Megra, and all these others. But who are some of the toughest bowlers you faced?
I think when you look at fast bowlers, you have to think about the surface as well, because even though you have good fast bowlers and you bring them on Antigua pitches, they would not be that good because the pitch is so flat. But like you go to a place like India, where the pitches, deteriorate in the very first day, bowlers becomes quite difficult to play. I think the challenge that we face I face a lot of time is Combley in India on those kind of pitches, those side of pitches with ball bounce and spin weighty. I think fast bowlers nowadays not a threat, but spinners, Combley is one of the spinner that I look up to, especially in India. In India, he dominates in India on those pitches. And you go to a place like Australia, where the pitches are normally fairly good. You have Shane Warne who come and turn the ball as big as ever. So those are the players that really will give you the most challenge, playing. I think fast bowlers, I don't have a problem with that because I've raised up in Antigua playing a lot of fast bowlers. But spinners is a little bit challenging on some of those surfaces.
The IPL has been a game changer throughout the world, right? And it's probably been a channel for remuneration for West Indies cricketers. Your thoughts on how IPL has evolved the game in the last 10 to 15 years?
Well, as you can see, transform the game in a great way. A lot of our players are playing now in the IPL, and it's a lucrative thing for these players. They make a lot of money, and the atmosphere is great. So it can only go better, and it can only do well for these players financially. I think it has done well for India cricket as well, because you've seen a lot of young players coming through that you have not seen. You would not have seen normally if you only have like 50 overs or test cricket. So a lot of players getting more opportunities, a lot of players more coming through from India. So it worked well for India cricket.
And a lot of folks that I meet in the Caribbean talk about Mumbai Indians being their favorite IPL team. Do you have a favorite team?
I really don't have a favorite team, to be honest. I watch all the games. I might have favorite players. I like, I would probably look at Kohli. I like Kohli and some of the other young players. I have some young players coming through that I watch. But I don't have a favorite team. I just like players individually.
And among the current crop of cricketers, you have Kohli, Steve Smith. Joe Root, Babar Azam. Who do you rate among your favorite or some of the?
I think you're talking about great players. Kohli is up there. Babar is there as well. You have Steve Smith as well. They are good quality players. It's difficult for you to say, hey, this guy is better than this guy. I just think that they came at a time where they transformed the game. They transformed the game, and they have made cricket look very simple. Watching them bat and stuff like that. So they are quality and great players, and I would not say who is greater and who is not greater. I think they're just good quality players.
Of course, great. And I come from Chennai, and we have a quality off spinner in our neighborhood, R. Ashwin. And
Ashwin.
he fancies like picking left-hander wickets. Have you watched him play from close quarters, or?
Yeah, I think Ashwin is one of the great spinner that we have seen for in his generation. You know, and I'm surprised that he don't play much more for India, especially in Test cricket and stuff like that. But I think that he's one of the cricketer that I look up to, spinner that I look up to. And he has a lot of bag of chicks in his armory, and he's very confident. I think he's a very, 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 very good spinner, and I think should always be in India setup.
Great, thank you so much, Ridley. I really enjoyed speaking with you, and this is a great conversation. So thank you.